Hello. Today we're going to talk about three different relaxation exercises. When we talked about anxiety before, we talked about how that we have the front part of our brain that I call the human brain and the back part, which is the animalistic brain. And so when we get stressed and anxious, we get more into that animalistic brain and we end up going into more of that fight, flight, or freeze mode, which then interrupts our breathing. And that's why breathing is so important and relaxation exercises in treating anxiety and stress. The very first relaxation exercise is just simple breathing in and out. Because again, when we are getting anxious, we will start to breathe rather rapidly, or we will hold our breath. So paying attention to your breath and just breathing in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. Just taking some nice deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. If you're teaching kids to do just that simple breathing exercise, sometimes having a picture of a flower and a candle on a popsicle stick where they can smell the flower and turn it around and blow out the candle. Now, one common variation of deep breathing is what some people call 4x4 breathing or square breathing. And basically it goes like this. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold. Now, most breathing techniques of relaxation focuses on the breathing, which helps calm the animalistic part of the brain, but it also usually has a focus component to it to keep the brain focused on something else rather than the worry thoughts that will trigger the anxiety more. So that's why some people like the counting. I prefer just to do some nice deep breathing. Now, the nice thing about that simple exercise is it can be done as you're driving through a rainstorm. It can be done as you are sitting in a medical office or in the dentist chair. It can be done just as you're getting ready to go in and face your boss for whatever reason. The second technique I want to talk about today is what is called imaging. And I like using imaging when people are struggling with, or I'm struggling with, falling asleep. Because during the day we keep our mind busy doing other things so we can distract our worry thoughts. But as we're going to bed, oftentimes our thoughts are free-flowing, and so the worry thoughts can come there. So with imaging, as you're laying there in bed, you can begin with the deep breathing, breathing in and breathing out. And then you start to create an image in your head. Some people refer to it laughingly as the happy place. But as you start to imagine that, for me, one of the ones I use is a place I used to go when I was a teenager and was upset. And it was on a college campus with a little waterfall coming out. And so you would just walk down this little path and it would go into this little clearing. And that was the only way in and out, so people did not wander through. And you wander down this little path with a little waterfall on the side. And there was the little Japanese garden bridge, one of those little bridges that kind of go over the little stream that went into a pond. And I would go over there and I would sit on the bench. And I could feel the spray of the water from the waterfall on a hot summer day. And I could feel the coolness of the breeze as I was sitting in the shade. And there was bushes and trees and flowers all the way around, so I could smell the flowers. And I could look at the pond, and there were little water skippers that were in the pond oftentimes. And I could hear the college students on the other side of the bushes going to class and laughing. Okay. Now what I want you to see about as I describe this place is what I'm doing is I'm also using all of my senses. I'm trying to use all of my senses. What did I smell? What did I see? What did I feel or touch? You know, and the one that's difficult is around taste. But some people prefer to maybe do a ocean scene and you can taste the salty air. But as you focus and use your senses, it helps push out the other kind of worry thoughts as you continue to just do that deep breathing. And if you've ever watched a child sleep, you'll notice how deep their breath is, and that's a real key factor. The third relaxation exercise that I want to talk about today is what's called progressive muscle relaxation. And it seems to have been researched more from working on the toes up. I like to use from the head down, so that's the way I'm going to start today. So how you do progressive muscle relaxation, again, it's a good one to use when you're going to bed or you're just relaxing, is to, as you breathe in, you take a body part and you tighten it up. So starting with my forehead, as I breathe in, I'm going to tighten my forehead, and as I breathe out, let it go out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, if I have the time, I will usually do each body part 3 different times. So I will scrunch up my forehead, I will shut my eyes, I will clench my jaw, but not so tight it's going to damage my teeth. You know, I will raise my shoulders up, breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Okay, then I will make a muscle. One of the other techniques to do the forearm is to have your forearm laying down and move your fingers up towards the ceiling, because then you can feel the tightness here in your arm as you let go. Making a fist and letting it go. Making a fist and letting it go. And continue to just work down your body as you go. Now, the reason I like to go from the head to the toes is because that way I just imagine the stress just floating down and the use of gravity and it just floating down and going into the ground. So those are 3 very common relaxation techniques, and later I will do another video with some different relaxation techniques. I hope this helps. Thanks.